Alf, doesn't it feel like more and more these days we're in a collector's market, a collector buyer's market, I think is really what I'm getting at here. It just seems like more and more supply continues to come to market. On top of course, the already cool cards from the past. You know, we always talk about, hey, if you don't like the new stuff that's coming out, you've got 100+ years of cards to go after. And man, if you look down the line, especially across various sports, and that's before you even get into non-sports entertainment, culture cards, that sort of stuff, there is so much opportunity, so many different options to collect all sorts of sets, players, brands. It's pretty endless. And I think that that's a good reminder, and I'm trying to do a better job of this as well. When I'm scrolling eBay or I'm looking at the latest auction house and what's coming up for auction, there is a lot of supply. Now, I think that there's probably more collectors here than ever before. You certainly have to take supply and demand. We have high demand for trading cards right now, and I think it's going to continue on. But again, the focus of the video here is going to be about supply and what your thoughts are here, how you're collecting. As we are now embarking, we have entered into 2025. Huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Pristine Auction. Talk about a place where you can buy amazing collector items. It is on Pristine Auction, whether it's a 10-minute auction they've got running over there, a live streaming event that Jared is running. You've got elite auctions that run every month. A variety of different opportunities over there at Pristine Auction. I've got a promo code down below for $10 off your first auction victory, so make sure to take advantage. Also, you have a collection, but you don't know what it's worth, justcollect.com. Head over there. They've got an easy appraisal form where you can analyze and share how much your collection might be worth. Also, the Just Collect YouTube channel is fantastic. Leighton Sheldon over there just interviewed Brady Hill, a monster collector. One of these guys I've met before. He's awesome. A lot of education over at the Just Collect YouTube channel. Card Capsule. You've got a lot of cards, but you need supplies and you don't want to pay a fortune for them. Check out the links down below for, again, money off. If you want discounts on hobby companies, it's in my video description as well as in the pinned comments. Top loaders, semi-rigids, cases. Make sure to check out Card Capsule. All right, on social media, such an emphasis on high-end items. You know, there always is, and there always will be. I mean, that's kind of the lifestyles of the rich and famous type thing. People like to see these amazing, rare artifacts in collectibles. There's a lot of historical significance. Speaking of historical significance gone wrong, I should also mention there's a big Pokemon card scandal going on right now with prototype cards that were believed to have been printed in 1995, were actually printed in 2024. Check out my Collectibles Dad second channel if you want some more info on that particular story. So with the high-end historical cool items, also be careful of scams. But like we said, across all sports, I mean, just baseball card collecting right now and baseball memorabilia, you could get lost. There's an endless sea of that stuff, whether that's ultra modern, 80s, 90s, vintage, pre-war. It is an absolute sea. If all you did was baseball cards, that's it, all you did. Hell, even if you only did vintage, you can very easily go through your budget. And this is something that I've had to learn over time. I still struggle with it because not only am I into a variety of different sports cards, I'm also into graded comic books. I like graded action figures, buying sealed Pokemon and vintage Pokemon cards as well. I have a lot of different interests. And so as you all can probably relate, your budget, your card budget, whether that's weekly, monthly, daily, whatever you've got working for you, there is a constant need to check yourself and also figuring out, okay, in my collection, should I sell this? Do I really like this? Do I love this thing more? And man, it's never been tougher. The auction houses do a great job of getting a lot of really great items. And again, it could be a $100 card. It doesn't necessarily have to be a $10,000, $50,000 card. And you're like, man, do I need all these $5 cards? I'd really like this $100 card. And so we're always having to take a look at our collection and also the new money that we're going to put in. And I've got to believe, and I want to hear what you all think, it's got to be the most challenging that it's ever been, because as much as we'll get on, Fanatics for some of the marketing stuff, Topps, Panini with some of the new product, shenanigans, stuff that I don't like, there are a lot of cool and exciting ultra-modern cards. And again, I haven't even gotten into the non-sports entertainment cards side of things, which I think are also just as fun. I've been trying to hunt down grails in the non-sports entertainment card space because compared to sports cards, they're a lot less expensive to find these grail cards, and I get just as much, if not more, enjoyment out of those cards a lot of times. So how are you navigating this space right now? Unless you have a really zeroed in, focused collection, you're collecting one player and you're collecting only upper deck cards of that player or Fleer or whatever it is. You have a very narrow focus. If you don't, if you're someone that collects a variety of different things, how are you organizing this? How are you prioritizing it? I need to probably do a better with my wish list or want list and priority list. I make these lists and then, my God, it just feels like it changes. I learn of a new set. Something pops up out of the blue. It happened this past week. Flippin' Steve brought up to me a card that I knew existed. He's talked about it before, but again, it's been kind of off the radar, haven't thought about it, and it's a Goodwin Champion Stephen King auto card. He has one that is a rare card, and I think his is like 1 out of 5,000 packs. Well, another one popped up, the more rare version of this card popped up that's 1 out of like 27,000 packs. And I'm looking at it, I'm making offers on it, and again, it's a card that popped up that was not on the radar up until Steve had brought it up to me, and I'm like, damn, me being a scary movie buff, horror movie guy, Stephen King is the GOAT in that genre. I mean, John Carpenter's up there too, for sure. But Stephen King, with all the books he's written, all the movies that have come of it, I mean, he's the guy. Like, I would love to have this particular item, and I didn't end up winning it. I lost it. But it just shows you that you can have a game plan, you can have a priority list, and then something else pops up out there that's amazing, and you have to move things around. You've got to figure out, kind of scramble a little bit. How are we going to pay for it? What should I sell off? You know, and that is a big part of the fun of collecting. But with all of the new product, new supply coming out, does it stretch some of these prices a little bit too thin? Meaning that if there's a big swath of hobby money that's in the ultra-modern stuff, whether that's, you know, baseball, basketball, football, the new quarterbacks and the new baseball products and the new Wembanyama, the basketball prospects, does it take away from the vintage side? If there's a huge swath of money that moves into vintage pre-war cards, is there enough money to go around for all of these things? Because like I said, I just feel like there's so much variety of cool things. And so are you trying to focus in on one player? Are you trying to spread it out? So if you're interested in a lot of things like me, are you saying, all right, I'm going to buy a graded action figure this year. I'm going to buy a graded comic book that I think is really awesome. And then for sports cards, I'm going to focus here. How are you doing it? Because it seems harder and harder as time goes on, as there's more supply, also more media attention, whether that's social media attention on particular cards that maybe you didn't know exist. They pop up and you're like, oh man, that looks really cool. Do your interests shift? You know, are you into one thing here and then you get into another thing there? A big part of my problem, I've talked about it, I'm an 80s, 90s nostalgia nerd guy. So if you look at all the different IP and cool things that came out of the 80s and 90s, it's pretty much an endless flow of collectibles and trying to figure out where I want to be, how I want it to look moving forward. And I guess that's a big part of the fun, is trying to figure out how is my collection going to look in 2025 and how will it change as we move into the future. Friends, let me know your thoughts. Is it a collector's market, collector's buying market as far as you're concerned? Or do you still feel like there's a lot of price corrections to be had in a variety of different areas? And if you do think that there are price corrections, let me know specifically where you think that those might be, whether that's ultra modern, 80s, 90s, vintage cards. What do you think it looks like as the years move ahead? The one thing I think that we can probably agree on, of course, nobody can see the future, but the overall interest in the collectible space, regardless of what that looks like for you, baseball cards or graded video games or action figures or whatever that is, there's more and more growing interest in this space, and we'll have to see how it looks moving forward. All right, friends, stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.